All right, this is the second installment in our project here at 47 Morrison Street, building a dormer. So as you can see, at this point we have insulation up. We are just about ready to start drywall. So the insulation was done by Mass Energy Lab, subcontracted out to Three Brothers Insulation. As you can see, they did spray foam. On the roof, they did, I believe it was 2 inches of closed cell foam, followed by something like 6 inches of open cell foam. All the white stuff, can't see any of the closed cell foam. It's all completely covered by the open cell. On the walls, it's just open cell foam, basically as thick as they could get it. You know, obviously shaved down. We're looking here at the closet in the back. We installed Roxol Safe and Sound insulation in the wall between the bedroom and the laundry room to try to make the sound transmission from the washing machine and the dryer not so bad. All of the electric and plumbing is unchanged from the previous video. Just showing a little bit about what the insulation looks like in here. The insulation pushed the ceiling vent out a little bit, but it's not too bad. I think it's fine. So we'll just go take a look in the bedrooms in just a second. Sorry, it's so dark. I have to do this at night. Obviously, this is a boys' bedroom. We pulled down as much of the plaster as we could in preparation for a drywall. The insulation folks, they pushed cellulose into as many of the cavities as they could find. Looking up just briefly, you can see a bit about how much insulation is up there right now. Coming back down. I can't recall whether this was done in the previous video, but we pushed that wall back, took out the built-in dresser. Insulation up here, because we had them take this ceiling down when they did the demo for the original dormer. The insulation inside the knee wall in the front goes all the way down the wall and goes all the way back. Basically everything that they could reach. Is insulated. And the cellulose really was used for all of the cavities, all the wall cavities that weren't open, as well as these wall pieces that never that there was no way to get foam in there. Let's go look at the master bedroom. So we pulled down every piece of trim. We plan to redo the trim entirely. So that obviously left a few holes. Some pieces came off. We're expecting the drywall folks to fix that. Up in the ceiling here, I did not have the foresight to ask the demo folks to take this ceiling down. Would have been useful because when the insulation was done, there was nothing done up here. It was all the original insulation. And so I decided to fill it. I didn't use with cellulose. I didn't use a blower. I just got a couple of the bricks, broke them up by hand, and tossed them in there. I took about 2 bricks worth, not quite 2 bricks worth of cellulose in there. Also around the windows, there was a bunch of old fiberglass insulation. I pulled that out and filled that full of spray foam in a can myself. So obviously all of the yellow stuff is around the window itself, and then in the gap next between the window where it was mostly exposed by the trim, was previously covered up by trim, pulled out any fiberglass in there and just filled it full of spray foam. Took about 4 cans of the big gap filler stuff to do all the windows. Drywall, we are going to have done by America Plastering. They are actually not going to do drywall, strictly speaking. They're going to do blue board, which we had done here in the past. It's essentially some material that's like drywall, except the surface is designed to accept a layer of plaster. So there's actually plaster on the outside. Tends to leave a pretty nice surface. The surface is kind of dinged up, but I don't think that'll be a problem. Last thing, I had realized that the ceiling in here was going to cause an issue because originally this had 2 layers. So this is the original layer when we bought the house, and this is the blue board that we had installed on top, because you can maybe see way in the gap there's wallpaper that just doesn't come off. So that means that this is a little bit thicker, and the demo line used to be right about here, and I realized that we would create a hard step there if we weren't careful, and so this gently feathers the transition, basically, hopefully, so we won't see it. My plan that's the plan on the ceiling. On the wall here, my hope is that the trim will hide it effectively, the trim that goes over the door. So I think that's about it for now. Did want to make sure that some of these holes are going to be obvious when we come back, when all the drywall is done. When America Plastering was here the last time, they did a great job, except they covered over one of the electrical boxes, which happened to be the most important one. So let's hope that doesn't happen again this time. Obviously not a big deal to cut it open, but it can sometimes be a pain to find where it is. Had to add a couple of inside corners here. All right, well, with that, thank you very much.